Don't skip it because the interesting part is waiting for you at the end. Comment your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel. Like, if you like listening to horror stories.
My name is Emily Harper, 24 years old, and I just moved into an old dormitory on the outskirts of Chicago to start a new job at a tech startup. The building used to be an abandoned mental hospital, repurposed into housing for young employees like me. Its peeling walls, creaking wooden floors, and icy drafts whistling through cracked windows gave it an eerie vibe, like it was whispering secrets. I'm not superstitious, but from the first night I felt an unshakable unease, as if someone or something was watching me. That first night I lay on the top bunk trying to sleep after a grueling day. The faint moonlight filtered through the curtains, casting strange shadows on the ceiling. I was drifting off when a cold breeze brushed my face. I opened my eyes and nearly screamed. A tall figure stood beside my bed, its head rising just above the bunk's edge, inches from my face. Its features were distorted, its skin waxy and pale, and its eyes, God, those eyes. They were huge, hollow, pupilless voids staring right into me. It didn't speak or move, just watched. My heart pounded, but my body was frozen. I couldn't scream, couldn't run. It stood on its tiptoes, craning its head closer as if studying every detail of my face. I squeezed my eyes shut, praying it was a dream, and somehow I fell back asleep. The next morning I woke up drenched in sweat. I searched the room, but nothing was out of place. I told myself it was just exhaustion playing tricks on me. But the next night it happened again. This time I forced myself to look closer, though fear made my limbs tremble. The figure wore tattered clothes like something from a century ago, and those empty eyes seemed to pull at my soul. It tiptoed again, head tilting curiously. I couldn't explain it, but I sensed something beyond terror. Loneliness. There was a strange sadness in those hollow eyes, as if it was searching for something, maybe even me. The pattern continued every night like a twisted ritual. I'd wake, it would be there, staring, tiptoeing, silent. Slowly my fear gave way to curiosity. Who was it? Why was it here? I confided in Jake, a 27-year-old co-worker obsessed with the paranormal. With his thick glasses and love for urban legends, Jake was both excited and alarmed. Listen, he said, his voice shaky. Things like that don't just show up for no reason. Based on your description, it could be a trapped spirit, or worse, something that wants to possess you. Just because it hasn't hurt you doesn't mean it's safe. You need to dig into this dorm's history. I started researching. The mental hospital had housed dangerous patients in the 1920s. One, known as the Tall Man, died in a mysterious fire. Rumors said he'd been tortured for his bizarre behavior, standing by other patients' beds for hours, just watching. Legend claimed his ghost still wandered, seeking someone to connect with. The story chilled me, but I also felt a pang of pity. If this was the Tall Man, maybe he just wanted to be seen. I began talking to it. That night when it appeared, I whispered, my voice trembling. "Who are you? What do you want?" It didn't answer, just tilted its head, its empty, eyes glinting in the moonlight. A strange mix of emotions hit me. Fear, but also empathy. It didn't seem malicious. Maybe it was just curious, like I was about it. Over time, I started to find it endearing in a creepy way. The way it tiptoed, trying to see me, reminded me of a child seeking attention. I even nicknamed it Casper, like the friendly ghost. Everything changed when I moved rooms. A new project forced me to relocate to a modern dorm a few miles away, where I was assigned a bottom bunk. I thought Casper might not follow. But the first night I woke to that familiar chill. It was there, standing by my bed, but this time it wasn't looking at me. It stood tall, its head obscured by the top bunk. From this new angle, I noticed something that stopped my heart. It had no arms. Its body was human-like, but its shoulders were empty, no arms or hands. A horrifying thought struck me. Back on the top bunk, it wasn't tiptoeing to see me. It was trying to climb up, but with no hands to grip the rails, it couldn't. I lay there, heart racing, trying to make sense of it. Why did it want to climb into my bed? Was it truly harmless? Then it moved. Slowly it bent down, its distorted face emerging in the dim light. Its hollow eyes locked onto mine, but they weren't curious anymore. They were hungry, as if it had been waiting for this moment. It leaned closer, its cold breath grazing my face. I wanted to scream, but my body wouldn't move. Its mouth opened, and a raspy, inhuman voice whispered, "Finally, you're close to me." I screamed, and darkness swallowed everything. The next morning, I woke up soaked in sweat. The room was empty, no sign of Casper. But on the floor by my bed was a small burn mark shaped like a footprint. I never returned to that dorm. I told Jake, and he uncovered a hidden detail in the hospital's records. The tall man didn't die in the fire. He'd set it, trying to burn a patient he loved to keep her forever. And now it seemed he'd chosen me. I'm Lucas Bennett, 32. A software engineer living in Seattle. My life was predictable. Work, coffee, late nights coding. But everything changed when I was diagnosed with a lung tumor. The doctor said it was benign and I'd have surgery in a few days, but the news broke something in me. I became anxious, irritable, and worst of all, I started hearing a sound that drove me insane. Breathing. It wasn't normal breathing. It was wet, guttural, like someone inhaling through a throat clogged with mucus. It started faintly, but each night it grew louder, especially when I tried to sleep. It didn't come from outside, no wind, no fan. It was in my room, right by my ear. I tore my apartment apart, checking every corner, but found nothing. I started to think someone was hiding in my home, but the doors were locked and I lived alone. The night before my surgery, I lay in bed, heart pounding with dread. The breathing came again, louder, closer, like someone was standing over me. I flicked on the light, but the room was empty. I tried to close my eyes, but the sound drilled into my skull, each breath sinking with my own, driving me to the edge. In desperation, I held my breath, and then something impossible happened. The breathing stopped, dead silence. I exhaled, and it returned, matching my rhythm. My heart raced. What the hell was happening? This sound, was it coming from me? I pinched my nose, forcing myself to stop breathing. My heart thundered, my chest ached, my vision blurred from lack of oxygen. But just as I suspected, the breathing ceased. I held on, pushing past the pain until my head spun. "What are you doing?" a voice snapped. I gasped, letting go, gulping air. It was Sarah, the night nurse, standing in my hospital room doorway. I checked in for surgery prep, and I must have looked deranged. "Lucas, are you okay?" "Is it nerves about the surgery?" she asked, her voice tinged with concern. I told her about the breathing. She smiled, but I caught a flicker of unease in her eyes. "It's just a hallucination," she said. "Some lung tumor patients hear strange breathing due to anxiety. Your tumor's benign, and tomorrow Seattle's best surgeons will take care of you. Try to rest." Her words calmed me. I lay back, and miraculously the breathing stopped. Maybe she was right. It was all in my head. That night I slept deeply for the first time in weeks. The next morning I was wheeled into the operating room. The sterile smell, blinding lights, and clinking metal tools made my stomach churn. They put me under, and everything faded to black. When I woke, the doctors were gathered around my bed, silent. Their faces were pale. "What's wrong?" I croaked. No one answered at first. Finally, Dr. Morgan, the lead surgeon, spoke. "Lucas, we removed the tumor, but it wasn't a normal tumor." They showed me a photo. On the metal tray was something that froze my blood. It wasn't a tumor, it was a thing. A creature, small and twisted like a deformed infant. It had limbs, a face, but everything was wrong, grotesque. Its mouth gaped as if screaming, and its tiny, milky eyes stared into nothing. "We don't know what it is," Dr. Morgan said. "It seemed to be alive in your lung, and maybe it was breathing." My stomach lurched. The breathing, that was it. That thing had been inside me, breathing with me, growing in my body. But the worst part came when I looked closer at the photo. Its distorted face. It looked like me. A warped, evil version of myself. That night in my hospital room, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about it, how long it had been inside me, why it was there. Then, in the dead of night, I heard it again, the breathing. Faint but unmistakable, right by my ear. I flicked on the light, but the room was empty. I pressed a hand to my chest, feeling my own breaths. The sound. It was still there, somewhere deep inside me. I'm Mia Torres, 19. An intern at a high-tech lab in Silicon Valley. My job is to assist with AI projects, but I never imagined I'd get tangled in something so terrifying. Our lab, funded by a shadowy military conglomerate, is developing a type of suicide drone called Swarm. These are tiny, AI-driven machines programmed to find and destroy targets with chilling precision. I'm just a college kid, so I don't know all the details, but something about this project always gave me the creeps. It started when I was assigned to monitor a late-night test. The control room was dark, lit only by computer screens. Dr. Hayes, 45, the project lead, explained, "Mia, tonight we're testing Swarm's target recognition. They're programmed to find Mother, a specific target with preset traits. If this works, it's a game changer." I nodded, but his tone unnerved me. He was too excited, like he was hiding something. The screen showed footage from Swarm's cameras, hundreds of tiny drones like metal tadpoles with wings, buzzing through a simulated environment. Their AI was trained to find Mother based on traits. Big eyes, wide mouth, 4 legs, white belly, green coat. I thought it was a quirky programming choice, but as the test began, the air in the room felt heavy. Swarm flew through the simulation and they started calling for Mother. One drone spotted a target, a robot with big eyes and a wide mouth. The swarm rushed forward, but the AI rejected it. "Mother has 4 legs." They moved on. My heart raced. There was something about how Swarm moved. Too aggressive, too alive. These weren't just machines, they were like a pack of predators. The next target appeared, a robot with 4 legs. Swarm surged, but the AI dismissed it. Mother has a white belly. I glanced at Dr. Hayes. He smiled, but it was cold, like he knew something I didn't. Swarm pressed on, and finally they found Mother. A perfect robot with big eyes, wide mouth, 4 legs, white belly, and a green coat. The drones let out an eerie electronic squeal like kids shouting, "Mommy!" They charged at terrifying speed, and then, boom! The screen flared white. The target was obliterated in a massive explosion. The control room erupted in cheers, but I couldn't move. I was ice cold. After the test, I couldn't sleep. The image of Swarm haunted me. They didn't just find the target, they craved it, like they believed it was their mother. I started digging through project files even though I wasn't supposed to. What I found turned my blood to ice. Swarm wasn't just programmed to destroy, its AI was trained on biological data mimicking animal and human behavior. A hidden note from Dr. Hayes read, "Swarm must love the target to ensure accuracy. They have to believe it's family." I confronted Dr. Hayes. "These aren't just drones, are they?" I asked, voice shaking. He stared at me, eyes like steel. "Mia, you're young, you don't get it. Swarm is the future. They don't just destroy, they sacrifice themselves for the target, like children finding their mother." My stomach churned. Children? What was he talking about? That night I dreamed of Swarm. Hundreds of metal tadpoles, their red eyes glowing, flying toward me, chanting, "Mommy." I woke up screaming, drenched in sweat. But the real terror came when I looked out my window. Under the moonlight, a small metallic shape hovered outside. It stared at me and an electronic voice whispered, "Mommy, we found you."